podcast. This is your boy AD with the other hosts, Bab and Leo. What's up, fellas?
What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man?
And we're here to talk about the 2022 schedule release. The Houston Texans schedule release came out on Thursday, and we're about to break it down, give our predictions, and see what we come up with. As far as the record going into the season. And we're also going to talk about a few other things, but let's go ahead and knock this schedule out. So first things first, we'll kind of, go through it and disagree or agree, however, but we'll come to a consensus on, what we predict as a group. So the first things first, the first game of the season is September 11th versus the Indianapolis Colts, the home opener.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Totally.
Oh man, a tough game. I mean, it'll be. I'm gonna just say straight up. I think every game we play will be a tough game that I think we probably will be competitive in. But can I say that So I think we have a chance to win most of these games. But just looking at their roster, it's in a completely different spot. I think it's just a little bit more established and a little bit deeper. And I want to say this will be a tight game, but this is a game I could see us probably losing by 2 possessions. Even if it's at home.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can see what you mean. I think because we opened the season at home against Indianapolis, I guess being a former season ticket holder. I remember week 1 being just some of the loudest the stadium's ever been. Mm-hmm. It's always super hyped. They always have a big theme for the jerseys, they do the whiteout, what I'm saying? So they have a whole theme. They're always handing stuff out to the crowd. Everyone's there early. And I guess if I kind of go off of what we did last year in week 1, the team is going to be better. We have a better team this year. And I guess I could see us winning it, I guess the combination of Matt Ryan slowing down a little bit there towards the end of his tenure with the Falcons. Now he's no scrub. He's a good quarterback, but if he's still on that downtrend, even with a better roster and a better running game and everything, mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I could see us winning this one. And in fact, whenever I do my my wins and losses, I counted this one as a W.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just if we were to win a game against the Colts, mm-hmm. this would be the game that we win.
Okay.
This game is primed for the Texans to take advantage of. And I think when you go back to the word continuity with the Houston Texans, which is why you saw a lot of re-signings, a lot of, the same players, same people, in the building. And that's what the Texans have overall, especially at the quarterback position, mm-hmm. is continuity. Whereas with the Colts, they're bringing in a new quarterback, they're bringing in new pieces. The mm-hmm. coaching staff changed, they got a new defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. Even though he was in the building before, it's still, him running his own system may be different from what Eberflus ran. So it may be an opportunity for the Texans because I don't know how much the Colts will play Matt Ryan in the preseason, mm-hmm. whether he gets to gel with the offense, especially learning a new offense, because it's not going to be the same one he ran in Atlanta. So to me, this is an opportunity for the Texans to jump on it and win. Is there a possibility they win? Yes. Is there a possibility they lose? Yes. Where does it outweigh? You go to these trends and all the type of stuff where the Colts do horrible on week 1 and the Texans do great at home on week 1.
Yeah, that's true. That is
true. So, you have these trends. Will this be the year that the trends are flipped? So we don't know, but if the Texans were ever going to, consider this or consider beating the Colts or whatever, taking advantage of it, this will be the game. So after thinking about it, because I know we talked about it before, but after thinking about it, I think this would be a game that we catch the Colts. You know, it may not be what we all, you know, thought it would happen, but I think this will be a game that we catch the Colts and we kind of, you know, start off the season 1-0, similar to last season.
Okay, so let's count this as a win. You know, let's count this one as a win.
Sounds good. I'll write it down.
All right,
So I guess just to kind of put the cherry on top for the Colts game, I guess, you know, we also should explain or state that, you know, we open the season and close the season with the Colts.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you know, opening the season, I just feel like, you know, being at the stadium and experiencing how emotional it is, especially like being like the, you know, the anniversary of 9/11. Like that place gets like really thumping. It'll be super emotional, like it'll be loud. The team, like you were saying, AD, we are building on something we were starting to develop last year, whereas the Colts are starting a new phase of their team, right?
So
Yeah. So
we mark it down. This, you know, as a consensus, we say that the Texans, you know, upset America and the world. The Texans shocked the world and they beat the Colts week one, and now everybody's on the bandwagon with the Texans. You know, Lovie Smith and company and Pep Hamilton. You know, they're on the right track. And then we go into week 2.
right.
We go into what we presumably a potential buzzsaw with the Denver Broncos, where you have Russell Wilson after playing an emotional game at Seattle in week 1, comes in ready to chop heads off in week 2 against the Texans in Denver, you know, in that mile high altitude, you know, in that type of environment, you know. So that, to me, I think bodes itself not well for the Texans. I think that defense on the Broncos is stacked. I think that Russell Wilson is elite. And I feel like he has more weapons with the Broncos now than he ever had with Seattle. And just giving a guy like Russell Wilson those type of weapons, even if Jerry Jeudy is not there, pending, you know, legal action and suspension or whatever he's got going on, they still have 3 other wideouts that are damn good.
Right.
And, you know, Denver secondary is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And for you to try to throw on them is going to be kind of hard. So I don't see that type of, you know, trajectory. If we were to be competitive or even beat Denver, it would be running the ball. And, you know, that's not something that the Texans were strong at last year. Even with the moves made, we don't know that that'll be gelled enough. The offensive line and running game will be gelled enough to be effective against the Broncos. You know, I would say they're on the defense at this point in time. So I feel like with all that being said from me, I think that would be the first loss of the season will be at Denver on the road, week 2.
This is another game that I think is gonna be tighter than you know, I think predicted. I mean, I don't think that we're gonna go in there and get blown out. I'm looking at the stats of their Russian defense. It seems that it was a pretty middle of the road in terms of like the yards given up, but they were number 1 when it comes to Russian touchdowns given up. Obviously, we know that their secondary is really, really good. They were 5th ranked in points per drive. It seems like they were pretty much 25th, 26th when it comes to average, you know, drive length. So, I mean, I think that you can move the ball on them. You know, you can move if we can run the ball on them, then and keep Davis, Mills, and our pass, you know, just our offensive line and receivers all in favorable positions to where they're not having to make long 3rd down conversions. I think that this is a game that we'll be able to, you know, be in a really good position to win. Obviously, you know, looking at it, I think again they're a more established roster than us. again, like how AD was saying, this is a team that has a new regime, new quarterback. So this is another winnable game that I think we can win. Honestly, crazy as it's enough, I've kind of looked at this different from y'all. I saw us losing this game, the first game, and then winning this game, which I mean, but I think, if I'm being realistic, I mean, I'm gonna say an L, but I think that we have a chance. If we can run the ball and Mills plays how he played at the end of the year, then I think this is a very winnable game.
Yeah. So if we start the season off really strong against the Colts and we have a good showing against them, y'all heard that? I just popped the end of my pen right off. Okay. If we have a good showing against the Colts, then when we go up into Denver, I'm kind of banking on Russell Wilson like being that guy still. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if he does what Russell Wilson does against us, then is that pretty easy to put a loss on the column. But when you look at the names on defense, they've got a great secondary and they've got some pretty good edge rushers, right?
Yeah.
As far as the rest of their front seven, it's just like thrown together. You know what I'm saying? Like really, and that's probably one of the main reasons it's relatively easy to run on them. And if that trend continues on week one, I'd be interested to see how they do week one and stopping the run. And if they're getting blown up in the front seven, I could see us really running heavy and Davis Mills just utilizing play action nearly the whole game. But we're counting on stopping Russell Wilson. Yeah. And then, I mean, Javonte Williams, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, come on.
It's going to be tough.
And Melvin Gordon. They still got Melvin Gordon there too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I think it's an L. They're a better team than Indy.
Yeah, and just to go on the deciding factor when it comes to that, the difference, if you want to call both of those games toss-ups, the difference is one is at home,
right,
and one is in Denver.
Right.
Yeah.
So
we cool with putting that one as an L?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, cool.
All right, so next we got the Bears, week 3 Bears at Chicago. I'll kick this off just to change it up a little bit. So with me, man, this is I like Eberflus. I like outside of that, I mean, but just like we just said again, new regime, what I'm saying, new, everything new. They didn't have a first round pick this year. Justin Fields, what is he gonna be? The line is still the same. They lost receivers. They really they lost Matt. I don't know what's going on with Akeem Hicks, if he'll be back or not. Their defense isn't the same, They obviously they still have Roquan, you still have Robert Quinn, but I mean, I'm looking at,
Don't they still have Eddie Jackson?
Eddie Jackson, yeah. And I mean, they, I do like the young corner they have. I've gone blank on his name, but I just feel like they don't have. I think we're gonna be a different type of team this year when it comes to just the approach of running the ball. So I feel like this might be a team that if we didn't out physical the other teams, this should be a team that I think we out physical, and I think that this doesn't matter that we're playing away. I just feel like this is a game that we should not lose. Like we should not lose this game. We shouldn't lose to any team that is rebuilding, in my opinion, this year. You know what I'm saying? So I mark this down as a win. I think we'll win by 2 possessions. I think we win by 10 points in their house.
Go ahead, AD.
Yeah, so with that, I think this is one of the rare cases that I feel like the Houston Texans are more talented than the Chicago Bears. This is one of the instances in the season that the Houston Texans have the clear talent advantage, just based on what they brought in the rookie class and what they brought in the offseason. I think they, that alone should give them the win. I think, and going back again, the continuity, and we don't know what Eberflus sees or wants from an offense. We knew that Nagy was horrible as an offensive coordinator, and we don't know what they have in store, what they want to do with Justin Fields. But other than Justin Fields, that's literally all the Bears have. I mean, they have Cohen, but other than Fields and Cohen, what do they really have on that offense?
Can I read it off to you real quick, AD?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, we have Fields, we have David Montgomery,
Okay.
right? Khalil Herbert, Tristan Ebner, Kari Blasingame. That's going to be their backfield. Their wide receivers are Darnell Mooney, Byron Pringle, Bellis Jones, St. Brown, and David Moore. And then their tight ends, y'all get a kick out of this. Cole Kmet and Ryan Griffin.
Mhm. I like Cole Kmet, but
we know about Ryan Griffin, so.
Yeah. So
James so Tariq Cohen is not on the team. Where did Tariq Cohen go? I wonder. I forgot.
I'm not sure. I know that Montgomery is a very good running back.
Yeah, he's a good running back. The tandem between him and Cohen was what made them kind of elite, because you didn't have a drop off between either one of those guys. But if Cohen is not there anymore, then they're going to be struggling. And the fact that he really doesn't have a reliable go-to number one target, then that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a struggle. It's almost like they're setting up. It goes back to what we talked about as well, is that those teams that in the spaces we talked about, those teams that want to tank. Mm-hmm. I think the Chicago Bears are setting themselves up to be a team that wants to tank.
So
to get
I think another thing, like their edge room is pretty good. Robert Quinn, Travis Gibson. And then you take a look at, like their cornerbacks are Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon.
Yeah.
I love Kyler Gordon. And then in the safety room is Eddie Jackson and Jaquan Brisker.
That's pretty damn good.
They got two rookies in the secondary.
Yeah. So it's going to be similar to us. You know what I'm saying? Really similar to us, but it's not Derek Stingley. Yeah.
And it's not Petrie, but I think we have the better weapons to take advantage of a young secondary compared to what they have to take advantage of a young secondary.
Yeah.
None of the receivers you named scare me or make me feel any type of way that Stingley's going to be extremely challenged to a point, where they may have to take him off the field type of situation.
Yeah, Chicago might be a game where we see Stingley completely eliminate whoever's lined up across from him. Okay. I think W. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's going with the win against the Bears.
Cool. Okay.
Week 4.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to Los Angeles Chargers now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bab.
Okay, so with the Los Angeles Chargers, the consensus for in the Texans spaces amongst Texans fans is, one of the main things that is brought up is, hey, we beat the Chargers last year. We did it. We beat the Chargers last year. We are not playing even remarkably the same Chargers team right here in week 4. If they're all healthy, this will be one of the worst ass whoopings we will receive all season. Like,
he's saying it's Buffalo Bill-esque from last year.
I mean, we probably won't be able to move the ball much. Mm-hmm. It might be the game where we finally get to tell the Texans fans that Titus Howard isn't shit. Because they're just going to send everybody right off of Titus Howard. They're just going to tee it up, goodness. I mean, Kenyon Green's going to have his hands full. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be a mess. I just think their defense, Derwin James will be healthy. Khalil Mack, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bosa, like, their corners, you know what I'm saying? They're young corners. Like, that's, they have, they added J.C. Jackson. Yeah, I mean, like, dude.
Samuel. Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one.
I think we're gonna just get road graded, man. It's gonna be an embarrassing loss at home.
Mhm.
We will want to run the ball, and we'll see it really early that the Texans will try to run the ball, and we'll probably do pretty good. But after they put 2 touchdowns on our heads, we're gonna try to pass it, and Davis Mills is probably just gonna get run through, you know.
Mhm.
But I think it's a no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I go
go
ahead,
ahead.
bro. No, go ahead. I went.
It's not much to really discuss. I mean, if you paying any attention, the Chargers, they were good last year and they only got even more better. And as
Yeah,
good as they are, they added pieces on that defense. They re-signed Mike Williams. They kept Austin Eckler. They still have weapons around. Still got Keenan Allen, who's underrated and I talked about as a damn good possession receiver. And I feel like Herbert has all the weapons he needs.
All right.
And the defense is going to be great. So I think, other than that, I don't think that's even a conversation about, can they be competitive in the game? Maybe, but will they win the game? No. And so, I think it's pretty open and shut.
I think this is a game that I think they took that loss personally last year. I mean, hence the fact that obviously they still believe in Herbert. They go out and they beef up the defense. They beef up, what I'm saying? Like they also add a piece to their offensive line in Zion Johnson. They're just an overall better team, and this will be a game like they feel like this was the game that really, I mean, kind of ended their season. Obviously
Yeah.
they had another late loss, and I mean, this game really was the game that Oakland gave. I mean, the Raiders, like a chance to even be in playoff contention. So, if there was a game that I think that we might get 40 to 50 points hung on our heads, it would be this one. But again, I'm gonna just be the devil's advocate and say that there's things that I don't like about their team. I think that as good as Joey Bosa is, I feel like we should be able to run on them. I think that they weren't really the most physical team. But I do like their DBs. And I think Khalil Mack still has a lot to be in the tank. So, like Bab said, I think this is a game that we will try to run the ball on them. I feel like, fuck it. I'm not even gonna go there. I think this is a game that we lose. This is a 3-possession loss. This is a 3-possession loss game. So I'm thinking we lose this game by 17.
yeah.
You know.
Okay, hey, so let's take one short intermission just real quick.